Hi guys, I'd like to show you how Bite Club is played.
In Bite Club, everyone secretly belongs to one of three sides. Vampires are the majority here, and usually referred to as good guys. They want to find all of their influence cards. Every blood vial and baron card is called an influence card. If they manage that before the game ends, the vampires win. Hunters are fewer in number. They want to stop the vampires. They actually have 3 win conditions. They win if Van Helsing is revealed, if a baron appears before any blood vial, or if the game ends without the vampires completing their goal. Ren, the devotee, throws a bit of a monkey wrench into the whole order. Ren is a one-person third faction that wins alone if certain conditions are met. For instance, one of the barons that will always be in play is Count Dracula. Dracula acts as a normal baron. However, if the player that finds Dracula happens to be Ren, they win. But if Dracula is revealed by any other player, the game continues. The secondary condition that can become a Ren victory is if the game ends with exactly 1 influence card still unrevealed. That's either a single blood vial or a single baron left unfound.
So what do I mean with all this talk about reveal and find? How does the gameplay actually work?
The game starts off with all players being dealt 5 cards. In this example, we have 5 players. Each player looks at their cards and then places them face down and shuffled in front of them. One player is chosen to be the first to go. This player gets the Talon. This player will select any card in front of any other player to reveal. Before this happens, though, everyone should attempt to manipulate the Talon player's decision with any information they would like to share. What type of manipulation each player is attempting to do depends on the role of that player. Let's say this player is a vampire that has 2 blood bags, but also has Van Helsing. They declared they have no blood bags and would be pointless to try their cards. Perhaps this player here is a hunter, but has a baron, and since there are not blood bags revealed yet, declares they have a blood bag. Perhaps this player here is a vampire that has no blood bags, and so they are suspicious of other players claiming no blood bags, and pushes the Talon player to reveal cards from the first player that declared. The Talon player might agree and then accidentally flip over Van Helsing. Or perhaps they agree and flip over a blood bag, and now that player's lie was caught, so now they appear to be a hunter. At this point, they can defend their position, but it's up to the table on whether they believe them or not. If Van Helsing was not revealed, the player whose card was chosen now has the Talon and takes the next turn. The game continues in this way until the number of cards revealed equals to the number of players playing the game. When that happens, all face-down cards are then returned to the deck, shuffled, and redealt. During this transition, the players might talk about their tactics in the first round, like explaining that they were lying to hide Van Helsing, or accusing another player of having Van Helsing instead of an influence card. The next round continues with 4 cards per player instead of 5, and the subsequent round dealing 3 and then 2. The 4th round, where players are dealt 2 cards, is the last round.
Remember, the number of influence cards would be equal to the number of players that are playing. Bite Club can be played with as little as 3 players and as many as 10.
And should the round end without the influence cards all being found, the victory goes to the hunters, unless of course there is 1 influence card remaining, in which case Ren steals that win.
So that's the quick rundown on how to play Bite Club. The game comes with additional power cards that each add some spice to the gameplay. Thanks for watching, and remember, in Bite Club, everyone talks about Bite Club.